Right. Hello, my name is Nate Bartlett. I attended Bear Creek Community Church for my UFound 1000 church present or project. And here's my experience. So, little background behind Bear Creek. Uh, BC3 or Bear Creek Community Church or BCCC, go by any of those, a non-denominational Christian church located in Woodinville, which is an hour from SPU, an hour away. It was planted in 1984 and originally met in a local school until 1991 when they got their own building. They have services every Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m., which they also do youth group on Wednesday nights, as well as a bunch of other community events, which we'll get to on a later slide. In addition to spiritual events and traditions, BC3 is actively involved in community service, partnering with Woodinville Storehouse, which they do food drives and other uh, related things. They also partner with Operation Night Watch, which provides food and clothing to homeless people in downtown Seattle. The church's commitment to both spiritual growth and community outreach reflects its dedication to living out the teaching of Jesus in practical ways. All right, Bear Creek's traditions. So I made two separate sections. The first one is Christian traditions, which are things that you find in a normal church, like communion. They do that first Sunday of each month, as opposed to some other churches I know they do every Sunday, but Bear Creek just does it first Sunday of each month. Christmas Eve candlelight service. Regardless of if it's a Sunday or not, Christmas evening, uh, they do a service where among other, they go over the Bible story and sing Silent Night while holding candles. Baptisms, usually they do baptisms every Easter, but they are open to if you can schedule it with a pastor to have one done whenever, as well as actually I'll go over that later. Easter and Palm Sunday, they observe those. They give out palm branches to all the kids. It's hilarious. Um, Advent candles. They around Christmas or the weeks leading up to Christmas of the weeks of December, they have four main candles with one in the middle. Uh, that each week they light one or one more each week leading up to Christmas, in which they light the main one. Just a little thing they do. They collect offerings as well as a benevolent fund, which goes to charity, or goes to give back to the people in the community. They do missionaries. They sponsor missionaries. I think we've got one down in Japan, as well as I think a few in Russia. And mission trips where we send a bunch of people from our community out to, I should mention, I say our community because this is the church I grew up in. So I did have some insider knowledge going into this project, but if anything, that just helped me make a more quality presentation. Yeah, mission trips for the adults, as well as they sometimes do youth mission trips where we went down to Portland for one, but that's for a different assignment. I'll go over that. Church events. This is just like casual event, or this is less traditions and more just things they do annually that I thought would be worth mentioning. They do Operation Christmas Child, which is usually it's around November where it starts up, where it's you pack shoe boxes with a bunch of toys, donate them, and they get donated to kids in developing countries who don't have access to things that like toothpaste, toys, clothing. Yeah, it's cool. Youth retreats and adult retreats. This is like, yeah, exactly what they sound like. Just time for people to get away and relax while also going over singing songs, Bible verses. They're fun. Youth group. This is Wednesday nights, once a week, for people middle school and high school. It's a lot of fun. I don't want to say a leader, but I helped with the games back when I attended. Outdoor picnics. This is for like they do their biannual meetings for the elders to discuss. They set up a bunch of food and games outside. Occasionally, I remember they used to do bouncy castles way back in the day. Harvest Hoot Nanny. This is just casual event for the kids. Plus, like they bring out apple cider presses, bunch of games, costumes every October. It's fun. Operation Night Watch. This is I already went over is food and clothes for homeless. Nerf Night. Self-explanatory. I'm wasting time. I need to move on. There we go. Defining characteristics. BC3 is a non-denominational church. Went over that. Traditions and events are quite common, but are a lot more casual than most other churches. What I mean by this is like they'll run a major, like not a major, they'll run like small events every few weeks just to engage with the community. They're fun. The church holds events to connect with community semi-often and has several active communities for like Bible study, book clubs, small groups, youth group. Yeah, the just and a bunch of others I'm probably forgetting, but lots of interaction with the community as well as bringing them as well as outreach to bring new people to the church. As for physical characteristics of the building, it has 2 stories. Top floor is used for sermon, seating areas, kitchen, bathrooms. Actually, there's bathrooms on both floors. Bottom floor is used for classrooms and storage. Uh, they have playgrounds outdoors and a large open field and 3 giant monster truck tires for kids to play on. They've been there as long as I have, maybe longer. Prominent figures. Mark Erickson, he's the lead pastor. Opens and closes most services. Stepped up during COVID from, I think it was Mike San Martino, used to be our lead pastor. He stepped down, Mark stepped up, and then Robbie Placencia stepped in as the youth pastor because Mark used to be the youth pastor. Robbie's cool. He preaches during services on occasion, leads youth group events, and joined BC3 ministry during COVID. He's a cool guy. Uh, yeah. Carol Smith, ministry assistant. She studies Hebrew translations of the Bible as well as other Hebrew related things. She's definitely the person at the church to consult if you have a lot of questions about like scripture or like what the intended meaning of a certain section of scripture is. And she helps with like creating the sermons as well as designing some of the stuff, I think. Like, oh, I animated that incorrectly. Whatever. Worship style. Every service opens with 2 to 3 songs, followed by an opening prayer. Pastor introduces the preacher, who gives a message. The message usually follows a theme across weeks. Like uh, they did like an 8 week long thing on the Beatitudes a while ago. Message usually follows a theme, goes over sections of the Bible. After the preacher is done, they close with a final song, a closing prayer, and a benediction, which usually is May the Lord bless you and keep you. May his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord turn his face towards you and give you peace. I believe that's correct. Overall style of worship is more laid back, more chill, like, yeah, because smaller community. More laid back than other churches I've attended. Pastor goes over Bible verses, stories from his own life, cultural references, like Mark loves to reference Lord of the Rings when it's applicable, and even occasional jokes, because I don't know, they're all cool. Experience. I enjoyed it. I attended BC3's Sunday morning service on the 11th, which is Mother's Day. Sermon theme was on selflessness, showing God's grace to others, and focused on Isaiah 58:10-11, which talks about giving what you can to the hungry and God will provide for you. Or give hungry, oppressed. Yeah. Mark also talked about the difference between, oh, that's an issue for later. Sorry. Uh, Mark also talked about the difference between acting in behalf of someone and acting on behalf of someone, emphasizing the importance of showing humility and one second, just dropped something. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Add an extra minute to the required time, whatever. Talked about the difference between acting in behalf of someone and acting on behalf of someone, saying that like one of them is kind of like stepping in and the other one is like actually helping. And he also emphasized the importance of showing humility, emphasizing the needs of others. I might have just repeated myself. Service was an hour long, multiple worship songs that I already was familiar with. Uh, was paced really well. They also provided cookies and other desserts after the service, which was really great. All right, a few things I enjoyed. Building itself was relatively small, making the sermon feel more personal. Because I was like right up near the front. It felt like Mark was really preaching to me, as opposed to like big mega churches where whatever. Worship team performed exceptionally well. There's a few people I knew on there. They did really well. Message made a lot of sense, really resonated with me, especially with today's political climate. Giving to those in need is especially necessary. I saw a few of my friends there, one of which I haven't seen in like probably since before school started, so that was cool. And they gave cookies after the service, which was nice. Just a little side thing I'm always happy with. Here are the references. We got the official Bear Creek website, which I studied beforehand as well as pulled some information from. The sermon live stream, which I grabbed some information from because I forgot. I didn't remember all the things from the service the first time I went around, so I just used it as a reference. All the photos used in the slideshow are either from free online templates, the Bear Creek website, or their live stream, taken by me or taken by my parents because I sent them back, or they went back on uh, this Sunday to like, because they go to the church every Sunday, so I just had them take a few photos. And here's my selfie. I forgot to take a selfie, but this is a screenshot of the live stream itself, and that's me in there. So this is my proof that I attended. All right, that and that's my experience with Bear Creek. Good church, a lot of fun. The message was good. I enjoyed it. Bye.